Well, I don't wonder, I know for a fact. I don't want to be crawling in and out of this tent. So hello and welcome to the vlog. This one is called 5 weeks in a tent. This is the tent in question. A little bit of the worse for the wear there. So yeah, I thought it'd be good to do a vlog as yeah, I'm in my 5th week of sleeping in this tent on summer camps.
You want to film inside it?
Not at the moment. As you can see, it's a small tent. It's not really designed for long-term occupancy, but I have my reasons for preferring this over the nice new shiny house over my shoulder there. The new house over there has a number of rooms which have ensuite sort of toilet and shower facilities, and we don't really have a toilet here other than the bush, which of course for hygiene reasons we're not going to use. But look at this, we just sneak through here, we have our very own outside showering facilities. Let's see if there's any water. A perfectly good shower can be had in there. So if you look at these trees over here, you can see the wind is blowing, you can probably hear it. The trees here. After what we talked about in a vlog a couple of weeks ago and what we talked about last year when we were on team camp, after that experience of a real proper storm here that really was very, very destructive, even hearing a little bit of wind is a little bit like, it does that thing where you go, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next. And you look at the forecast and you know nothing's going to happen next. It's just going to be a little bit windy. It's not even windy, it's breezy. But it is surprising what an experience like that does to your sense of, oh, maybe I'm just going to get up and go and sit inside now, which I have done a couple of times in the last 5 weeks. Our tent is small enough and stuck behind a big bush. Like, the wind's not going to do anything to it, it's too small for that, but it's just the sound of it. Even though I know if I get up and go and sit in there, I'll probably fall asleep. If I stay out here, I'm just going to lie awake thinking about how windy it is. I'd love to say the wind doesn't bother me, it kind of does. It's 10 to 7 rounds over there at the basins, brushing their teeth, crawled out the tent. Just going to take you over here because at this time in the morning, this is a nice view. Anyone who follows me on Instagram will probably recognise that bit of the mountain. I've got a big old hoodie on. It's going to be in the mid-30s and stinkingly hot today, but right now it is very fresh. Give it 10-15 minutes, the sun will be up over that mountain, and yeah, it will be very warm. That is a top tip about this part of the world. I'm up early because we've got a meeting got to be at, but if you're in a tent, you have to be out the tent before the sun comes over that mountain, because by the time it hits your tent, it turns your tent into a sauna in literally a minute, and it's unbearable. So get up. Right. We have one of these blackout tents where the inside is black, which keeps it a little bit cooler. You maybe get a couple extra minutes because of that, but yeah, once the sun comes up, you need to be up. So it's Thursday, we've got one more full day of camps and then that is it. At this point, I can safely say I'm the person who slept in a tent longer than anyone else on camps this year. Even if I spent the next 2 nights in a house in a fancy bed, I would still have slept more nights in a tent than anyone else. So yeah, I don't know if that deserves a prize or anything. It was my choice. It's not particularly heroic, it's just what I wanted to do. So I put a photo on Instagram today commemorating the fact that probably this week it marks 30 years since I first played at a summer camp, and yeah, back then I was sleeping in a tent, but I was very happy when I graduated to get a caravan for those camps. Spent a few years having caravan accommodation, and yet here I am 20 years on from that, 15 years on from that, enjoying tent life. Yeah, I don't know what that says really. So I've forgotten what I said at the beginning of this video, but if I didn't say it before, this is the last year when I'll be on camp as a 40-something, and maybe that's why I wanted to sleep in a tent. What I like about this is there is a me-shaped indentation in the ground after a couple of weeks, so it's comfortable. It's not bad at all sleeping on the ground. I am assessing my options for the years ahead. I do wonder if in 5 or 6 years time if I'm going to want to be crawling in and out of this. Well, I don't wonder, I know for a fact I don't want to be crawling in and out of this tent. So the options are get a bigger tent, like the one hiding over there, or negotiate for a room in a house. So it's only fair to give you a little look at what it's like inside. That's Rowan and I in here this week. That's stuff, and 2 sleeping bags in the middle, 2 mats, and yeah, really nothing to see but mess, but it's a livable mess and we live with it. So that's it. Last morning we go home. Crawled out of the tent for the last time. So it's very quiet out here this morning. It was very noisy for a lot of last night, but there's an hour to go until breakfast, and in that time we're going to pack our stuff into our bag and strip our little tent down. So what's left in the tent now is me and my mat, and underneath me a very me-shaped piece of ground, which has been surprisingly comfortable for the last 5 weeks. Anyway, time to pack up, go home. Last coffee of camp season. So yeah, that's it. This is my 5 weeks sleeping on the ground spot.
And my 3 weeks sleeping on the ground spot.
Yeah. So I think with that said, that's about it for this week's vlog.
Like and subscribe!
Yeah, do give us a big thumbs up for being in a tent. Do leave a comment question if you want to know more, and do remember that together we do adventure. See you next time.